Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will discuss about electric discharge machining, the working of electric discharge machining or EDM, the principle associated with electric discharge machining, working of electric discharge machining principle, advantages, disadvantages, and various applications of electric discharge machining. Now the definition of electric discharge machining is EDM is a non-electrothermal, non-traditional machining process where electrical energy is used to generate electrical spark and material removal mainly occurs due to thermal energy of the spark. EDM is mainly used to machine difficult to machine material and high strength temperature resistant LY. It can be used to machine difficult geometries in small batches or even on job shop basis. Work material to be machined by EDM has to be electrically conductive. This is the major component of electric discharge machining like electric power supply, workpiece and tool, dielectric medium, and the servo control unit. Here we can see that we are using only DC pulse generator for circulating the or for complete the circuit in electric discharge machining. Here the servo control motor is used to feed the or it is used to maintain the gap between the workpiece and the cutting tool. Servo electric motor is associated with the tool holder and the tool holder is represent negative charge here and the workpiece is represent positive charge here. Here is the filter we are using for dielectric medium because the function of dielectric medium is also the separate here a small particle from the workpiece and dissolve in dielectric medium. Then with the help of the pump, uh, the process of sucking dielectric material mixture with the abrasive particle which are comes from workpiece and then go into the filter for filter process, and after the filtration fresh dielectric fluid is going to the workpiece by the help of tool holder. Here are the working of electric discharge machining. In EDM, a potential difference is applied between the tool and the workpiece. Both the tool and the work material are to be conductors of electricity. The tool and the work material are immersed in a dielectric medium. Dielectric medium, we are using kerosene or deionized water. There is always a gap maintained between the tool and the workpiece. Depending upon the applied potential difference and the gap between the tool and the workpiece, an electric field would be established. This is also part of working. Tool is connected to the negative terminal as we discussed earlier of the generator, and the workpiece is connected to the positive terminal. As the electric field is established between the tool and the job, the free electron on the tool are subjected to electrostatic forces. Cold emission, the work function or the bonding energy of the electron is less. Electron would be emitted from the tool. Such emission of the electrons are called or termed as cold emission. Here are the working diagram of the electric discharge machining or EDM. Tool is associated with the negative charge and the workpiece is or job is associated with the positive charge. When we supply current, then the negative charge is coming to the positive charge and positive charge is going to the negative charge. Then the differences is going with the respect of each other. The heat is generated at the place of this area and the width of This heat, the vaporization or melting workpiece has take place, and thus our machining process is completing. Now here is the some basic properties or requirement of electrode in the EDM process. Electrode material should be such that it would not undergo much tool wear when it is impinged by positive ions. Thus, the localized temperature rise has to be less by properly choosing its properties, or even where when temperature increases, there would be less melting. High electric conductivity. Electrons are cold emitted more easily, and there is a less bulk electrical heating. High thermal conductivity. Uh, these are the requirements of electrode which we are using in the EDM process. For the same heat load, the local temperature rise would be less due to faster heat conducted to the bulk of the tool. Thus, tool wear is less. Higher density, it contains, although it must be content must be a higher density. For the same heat load and the same tool wear, by weight there would be a less volume removal or tool wear, and thus less dimensional loss or inaccuracy. High melting point. High melting point leads to less wear due to less tool material melting for the same heat load. Easy manufacturability, and the if you're talking about the cost, then manufacturing cost is cheapest for the electrode. Recommended electrode material is graphite, electrolytic oxygen free copper, and the tellurium copper, 90% copper plus 0.5% tellurium, and the brass which we are commonly using in the electrode material. Here are the some basic properties and the function of dielectric material. Like material removal mainly occurs due to thermal evaporation and melting. As thermal processing is required to be carried out in absence of oxygen, so that the process can be controlled and oxidation avoided. Oxidation often leads to poor surface conductivity of the workpiece, hindering further machining. Dielectric fluid should provide an oxygen-free machining environment, because if any presence of the oxygen, then there is a chances of being corrosion takes place at the workpiece or at the tool piece. Further, it should have enough strong dielectric resistance so that it does not break down electrically too easily. But at the same time, it should ionize when electron collide with its molecule. Moreover, during a sparking, it should be thermally resistance as well. As generally kerosene and the deionized water we are using as a dielectric medium in electric discharge machining. Tap water can't be used as it ionized too early and thus break down due to presence of salts as impurities occur. We can't use impurity water with impurities as a dielectric medium in electric discharge machining. Dielectric medium is generally flushed around the spark zone. It is also applied through the tool to achieve efficient removal of molten material. There are the three important functions of dielectric medium in electrical discharge machining, like insulate the gap between the tool and the work, thus preventing a spark to form until the gap voltage are correct, cools the electrode workpiece and solidifies the molten metal particle, flushes the metal particles out of the workpiece gap to maintain ideal cutting conditions, increase metal removal rate. It must be filtered and circulated at constant pressure with the help of pump and the filter. The main requirement of the EDM dielectric fluid are adequate viscosity. It must contain adequate viscosity, high flash point, good oxidation stability, minimum odor, low cost, and good electrical discharge efficiency. For most EDM operations, kerosene is used with a certain additive that prevent gas bubbles and deodoring. Silicon fluids and a mixture of these fluids with petroleum oils have given excellent results. And the other dielectric fluids which we are using at variety degree of success include aqueous solution of ethyl glycol, water in emulsions, and the distilled water. Here are the some basic properties or functions of power generator which we are using in electric discharge machining, like resistance, capacitance type, RC type relaxation generator we are using, rotary impulse type generator we are using, electronic pulse generator we are using, and the hybrid EDM generator types we are using for power generation in electric discharge machining process. Here are the flow chart of the material removal rate in electric discharge machining. Like it depends on the various factors, which include melting point, boiling point, and conductivity related to the workpiece thermal properties. And if we talking about tool electrode, then the which type of material we are using for making tool electrode, movement of tool wheel electrode, and the rate of wear occurring in the tool electrode. These factors are directly affecting the material removal rate or various dielectric properties which are also affect the material removal rate uh, in EDM process. Here are the some EDM characteristics, like it can be used to machine any work material if any material is electrically conductive. Capacitor discharge is between 50 to 380 volt. Dielectric slurry is forced through this gap at a pressure of 2 kgf per centimeter square or lesser. A gap known as a scarp gap in the range from 0.005 mm to 0.05 mm is maintained between the workpiece and the tool. The current density in the discharge of the channel is in the order of 10,000 ampere per centimeter square, and the power density is nearly 500 megawatt per centimeter square. MRR depends on the thermal properties of the job or of the workpiece rather than its strength and hardness of the workpiece material. Here are some also characteristics of electrical discharge machining or electric discharge machining. In EDM, geometry of tool, positive impression of hole or geometry feature generally we are considering. Tool wear once again depends on the thermal properties of the tool material. Local temperature rise is rather high, but there is not enough heat diffusion, and thus hertz is limited to 2 to 4 micron. Rapid heating and cooling leads to surface hardening, which may be desirable in some applications. Tolerance volume of plus minus 0.05 mm could be easily achieved by EDM. Best surface finish that can be economically achieved on the steel is 0.40 micron. Here are the some applications of electric discharge machining, like it can drilling of micro holes, thread cutting, helical profile milling, rotary forming, and the curve hole drilling. In delicate workpiece like copper parts can be produced by EDM, can be applied to all electrically conducting metals and alloys irrespective of their melting points, hardness, toughness, or brittleness. Other applications like deep small dia holes using a tungsten wire as a tool, narrow slots, pulling holes in super LY turbine blades, pulling holes in super LY turbine blades, and various intricate shapes. EDM can be economically employed for extremely hardened workpiece since there is no mechanical stress present or no physical contact. Fragile and cylinder workplace can be machined without any distortion. Hard and the corrosion resistant surfaces essentially needed for die making can be developed with the help of electric discharge machining. Here are various advantages of electric discharge machining, like we can produce or we can machine complex shape that would otherwise be difficult to produce with conventional cutting tool. Extremely hard material to very close tolerance we can obtain from ADM. Very small workpiece where conventional cutting tools may damage the part from excess cutting tool pressure. There is no direct contact between tool and the workpiece. Therefore, delicate section and the weak material can be machined without any distortions. A good surface finish can be obtained by applying of this process. Here are the some disadvantages of ADM process. Like for economic production, the surface finish not to be too fine. The additional time and the cost used for creating electrode for ram or sinker ADM, reproducing sharp corner on the workpiece is difficult due to electrode wear. Power consumption is too high. Overcut is formed on the workpiece. Excessive tool wear occurs during machining process because of the transferring ions from the positive to negative and the negative to positive terminal. Electrically non-conductive material can be machined only with the specific setup of the process, but generally we are only using conductive material for machining process in the EDM process. This is the overall from the electric discharge machining process. In this chapter, we have learned that the definition of electric discharge machining, the working principle of electric discharge machining, various components which are associated with electric discharge machining, advantages, disadvantages, and the application of electric discharge machining. We have also seen that the function of various components which are associated with electric discharge machining. In the next chapter, we will discuss about another non-conventional process, manufacturing process, or another newer machining process in detail. Thank you. Thank you all. Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will discuss about electron beam machining. The principle of electron beam machining, the working of EBM, the various advantages, disadvantages, and application of electron beam machining or EBM. Here you can see that the complete setup of electron beam machining. Here is the workpiece kept in the vacuum chamber. One side of the vacuum chamber is associated with the weaving port where any skilled person or any operator can see the what is going on this workpiece. And the another side is one high vacuum pressure pump is associated with another side of this vacuum chamber. Now here high voltage cable is associated at the top of this machine. Approx this kilovolt DC power we are supplying to the electron beam machining. Here cathode grid is associated, then the anode is associated. Optical weaving system is placed between the vacuum chamber and the upper part of this setup. Electron stream, this is going to workpiece. Magnetic lens for the accumulation of the workpiece, and the deflection coils, which is using here for not deflecting any electron stream which is coming from high voltage cable and going to the workpiece. Here are the basic principle of electron beam machining process. This machining process work on the basic principle of conversion of kinetic energy of electron into heat energy. When a high-speed electron impinges on a workpiece, they convert its kinetic energy into heat energy. This heat energy used to vaporize material at contact surfaces. This process is carried out in a vacuum. Otherwise, the electron beam collide with air particle and loses its energy before impinging on the work material. These are the basic principle of electron beam machining. Here are the equipments we have seen that using in electron beam machining process, like electron gun. It is called heart of the electron beam machining. It is used to generate electron or electron beam. It is simply a cathode ray tube which generate electron, accelerate them to sufficient velocity and focus them at a small spot size. In this gun, cathode is made by tungsten or tantalum. This cathode filament heated up to 2500 degree centigrade vacuum in the chamber. Another one is annular biased grid. It is the next element of the electron beam machining. It is just after the electron gun. It is a anode which is connected by the negative bias, so the electron generated by the cathode do not diverge from its path and approach to the next element. When the electron leaves the section, the velocity electron is almost half of the velocity of the light. Here are the function of magnetic lens. After the anode, magnetic lens are provided which shape the beam and does not allow to divert electron or reduce the divergence of beam. These lenses allow to pass only convergent electron, thus a high focused beam is obtained. They also capture low energy electron, thus increase the quality of beam. Now the function of electromagnetic lens and deflection coil. Electromagnetic lens is used to focus the electron beam at a spot. They use to focus beam at a spot on workpiece, so a high intense beam reaches at work surface, which produce more heat and improve machining. The deflecting coil does not allow to beam deflect and take care of all electron moves in a series, thus form a high intense beam. Here are the now the last one is workpiece and the work holding devices which is kept under vacuum chamber. It can machine both metallic and non-metallic material. The workpiece is held by suitable fixture which is mounted on a CNC table. This table can be moved in all three directions, which control the shape of machining. Here is the complete working of the electron beam machining process. Like stepwise step we are seeing. First, electron gun produce high velocity electron particle. These electron particle move towards anode, which is placed after cathode tube. Now this high intense electron beam passes through magnetic lenses. There are a series of lenses which take care of only convergent electron passes through it. It absorbs all divergent electron and low energy electron. It provides a high quality electron beam. This electron beam now passes through a electromagnetic lens and deflecting coil. It focuses the electron beam at a spot. The high intense electron beam impinges on the workpiece where kinetic energy of electron convert into thermal energy. The material is removed from contact surface by melting and vaporization due to this high heat generated by conversion of kinetic energy into thermal energy. This whole process takes place in a vacuum chamber. Otherwise, these electrons collide with air particle between path and loses its all kinetic energy. Here are the application of electron beam machining process. It is used to produce very a small hole size about 100 micrometers to 2 millimeter. It is used to produce holes in a diesel injection nozzle. It is also used in aerospace industry and automobile industry for producing turbine in our aerospace industry, for supersonic engine, and in nuclear reactors. Here are the various disadvantages and advantages of electron beam machining process. Like advantages of EBM are, it can be used for produce very small hole size in any shape. It can machining any material irrespective its hardness and other mechanical properties. It provides good surface finish. No any surface finishing process is required after EBM. Highly reacting material can be machined easily because machining is done under vacuum. Here are the some disadvantages of electron beam machining process, like high capital cost, high skill operator required, regular maintenance is required, material removal rate is very slow compared to other conventional process, and it is difficult to produce perfect vacuum. These are the some disadvantages of electron beam machining process. Now the electron overall construction, can see that supply system and supply system in supply electric cylinder and hot cathode is kept in the cylinder. Here is a control grid, and after that pre-accelerating anode, and in the last focusing anode is placed in the electron beam, and from this side electron beam directly gone to the workpiece and machine the workpiece in a vacuum chamber. Here are the some theory of electron gun construction. Like electron gun is defined as the source of focused and accelerate electron beam. It is a device used in cathode ray tube for displaying the image on phosphorus screen of CRT, cathode ray tube. The electron gun emits electrons and forms them into beam by the help of a heater, cathode grid, and pre-accelerating, accelerating, and focusing anode. This is the basic construction of electron gun. Here are the construction of the description of the all component which is associated with the electron gun. First one is heater. The heater converts the electric energy in the form of heat. It has a resistor which obstruct the flow of current and convert it into the thermal energy. The heater hits the cathode electrodes and emits the electrons. Now the control grid. The control grid is a nickel cylinder. It is the metallic cup which has lower permeability steel. It is about 15 mm long and having the diameter of 15 mm. The hole of about is 0.25 mm is drilled in the cap of the grid for the flow of electron. The intensity of electron beam passing through the grid depends upon the emission of electrons. The control grid is negative biasing, due to which is control the flow of electrons. This is also the another component which is associated with electron gun. Pre-accelerating and accelerating anode. The pre-accelerating and accelerating anode accelerated the beam passing through the gun. These anodes are connected to the high potential for accelerating the electrons. And the fourth one is focusing anode, which is which component is associated in the last of the electron gun. After passing through the pre-accelerating and accelerating electrodes, the electrons are passing through the focusing anode. The focusing anode produces the beam of sharply focused electrons, and the electron gun are placed inside the glass tube so that the electron beam did not interact with the air molecules. On the basis of this chapter, here are the some multiple choice questions. Like mechanism of material removal in electron beam machining is due to, here are the four options given. Option A is mechanical erosion due to impact of high of energy electron, chemical etching by the high energy electron, a sputtering due to high energy electron, melting and vaporization due to the thermal effect of impingement of high energy electron. Now the answer is melting and vaporization of workpiece due to the thermal effect of impingement of high energy electron. So our option is D. Now the another multiple choice question is electron beam machining is carried out in high pressure vessel, thermally insulated area or vacuum or in room at the atmospheric pressure. Then surely it would be a vacuum. We have created the vacuum for the better transmission of the electron beam to the workpiece. Our option is C. Now the fourth one is during EBM is kept under vacuum. Electron gun, whole setup, and the workpiece. Electron gun is not associated with under vacuum. Whole setup is also not we kept in the vacuum. Surely the workpiece we are keeping in the vacuum. Thus our answer is option C. Overall in this chapter we have seen that working of electron beam machining process, advantage of electron beam machining process, disadvantage of electron beam machining process, principle and application of electron beam machining process. And on the basis of uh, this video lecture we have solved 4 to 5 multiple choice question. Thank you all. Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will discuss about multi-point cutting tool, different types of multi-point cutting tool, requirements of cutting tool, requirements of multi-point cutting tool, and the various differences between single point cutting tool and multi-point cutting tool. Now let's start. These are the some basic information about multi-point cutting tool. Like the number of cutting edges varies from 2 commonly found in a drill bit to 4 commonly found in the milling cutter to 100 cutting edges like in grinding wheel, because we know that uh, that cutting tool has, if any cutting tool has uh, 2 or more than 2 cutting edges, then we known as multi-point cutting tool. It provides high material removal rate without failure, like higher feed rate, higher depth of cut. Cheap load is very slow. However, the usage of multi-point cutting tool can maybe result in fluctuation in cutting force, impact loading on each teeth, higher vibration effects. This is the picture of twist drill. Here, there are all parts like it is known as flute, the growing parts, and the upper part is known as land. This is known as margin. This is chisel edge, and behind the chisel edge, it is known as core thickness. Here, it is known as lip. This is a type of multi-point cutting tool which has 2 cutting edges. Here is the overall parts of the twist drill, like it is shank diameter, shank length. We have seen that in single point cutting tool, shank is one another part and the face is one another part. On the faces, there are many angle possesses on the face for the purpose of cutting. Uh, this is known as a rake or helix angle. This is flute we have discussed earlier. Lip relief angle, this is known as the tip of the drill bit. This is point angle, and this overall known as body length. Let's discuss one by one. Flutes. It is helical or straight grooves cut to provide cutting edge. They permit removal of chips and allow cutting fluid to reach cutting lips. Helix or rectangle. It improves the chip cutting ability if increased as positive rack angle. Leaf relief angle. On larger diameter or harder material, this angle is decreases to as low as 8 degree. On a smaller diameter or softer material, angle can be increased up to 20 degree. It depends on that operator, means which type of material we are using. If we using harder material, then the leaf relief angle is as low as 8 degree, and if you using softer material, then the value of relief angle will be up to 20 degree. Point angle. Lower angle produce wide chips. Higher angle is recommended for hard material, whereas lower angle is for softer material. Like relief angle, in a point angle also, if we use a softer material, then the lower angle is necessary, and if we use harder material, then the higher angle is necessary as a point angle in drill twist. This is also a view of twist drill. This is known as cheese edge at the tip of the drill bit. This is body clearance, cutting edge, and this is known as hill. Chisel edge, it does not cut, it penetrate, displacing the workpiece. It consumes 60 to 70% of the thrust force thrust force required, because it is the main point which is first and directly physical physical contact between the drill bit and the workpiece. Thus, here describe that it consumes 60 to 70% of the thrust force. The best tool geometry angle according to material, like workpiece material, here we are using like aluminum, brass, cast iron, mild steel, stainless steel, or plastic. Like point angle vary from 90 to 135, helix angle 30 to 48, lip relief angle 12 to 26. These all the value of this angle in degree, like 90 degree to 135 degree. For brass, 90 to 118, helix 0 to 20, lip relief angle 12 to 26. For the cast iron, again 90 to 118 degree, helix angle 24 to 32, lip relief angle 70 to 20. For mild steel, it varies from point angle varies from 118 to 135, helix angle 24 to 32, lip relief angle 7 to 24. Now for the stainless steel, 118 to 135, helix angle is 24 to 32 degree, and the lip relief angle is 7 to 24 degree. For the plastics, it varies from 60 to 90, because we know that we use lower angle for point angle if we cut softer material. Helix angle will be 0 to 20 degree, and the lip relief angle is varies from 12 degree to 26 degree. This is overall tool geometry on the basis of workpiece material which you are using for cut or for machining process or for drilling process. This is the diagram of milling cutter. Here you can see that many cutting edges. These all are the cutting edges. These the hollow part or the undergone part is known as fillets. This is the relief angle. This is known as relief angle. This is clearance angle. This one is clearance angle is measured with the respect of fillets, and this is known as lip angle. Here are some description of angles like a relief angle. It is to avoided interface the between the tooth and the work surface. Relief angle, it is a wide interface between the tool and the workpiece surface. Radial rack angle, it is provided free cutting by allowing chips to flow smoothly on the face of cutter. Now the another one is lip angle. It is between the face of teeth and the land of the teeth. Here is an example of pipe facing machine, like we using multi point cutting tool in the pipe facing machine. This is the differences between single point cutting tool and the multi point cutting tool. We have discussed in the previous chapter of about single point cutting tool, and in this video lecture we have discussed about multi point cutting tool. Now these are the basic differences. Like single point cutting tool, it is easy to design and fabrication, whereas multi point cutting tool is a small cheap load per tooth. Design consideration is more harder with compared to single point cutting tool in multi point cutting tool, because here cutting edges is two or more than two. Single point cutting tool is comparatively cheaper, uh, but multi point cutting tool is comparatively costly because of growing of various teeth, various cutting edges on multi point cutting tool. Single point cutting tool consist high tool wear rate because here one and only one cutting edge, and multi-point cutting tool high material removal rate, MRR material removal rate, and productivity. It gives high material removal rate and productivity. These differences are we are taking on the basis of the main reason of these differences are in the multi-point cutting tool there are two or more than two cutting edges, but in the single point only one cutting edges. Here shorter tool life, reduced tool wear means the life of the multi-point cutting tool is more than compared to single point cutting tool. Higher cutting temperature, here it consists lower cutting temperature. Thermal damage is occur due to continuously physical contacting between one cutting edges to the workpiece, and due to the continuous physical contacting there is generation of heat, and due to the generation of heat there may be the chances of thermal damage at the tip of the single point cutting tool or at the nose radius of the single point cutting tool. Then overall thermal damage is decreases the overall tool life overall tool life of the single point cutting tool. But the generation of heat at the place between contact of multi-point cutting tool and the workpiece is much minimum, is much lower than the single point cutting tool, and due to this very thermal damage is occur because no more temperature is rising at the place of contact between them. Thus, it improves overall tool life of multi-point cutting tool. Uh, in the single point cutting tool, there is this provides us low material removal rate (MRR), and this produce high material removal rate and productivity, or we can say that the rate of production is high in when we using multi-point cutting tool. On the other hand, the rate of production is slow when we use multi-point cutting tool. Low productivity, already discussed, like it affect our overall production rate. This is somehow costly than the single point cutting tool because in the manufacturing process, the design of multi-point cutting tool is hard compared to the single point cutting tool because we have to groove two or more than two cutting edge on the multi-point cutting tool. These are the some basic differences between multi-point cutting tool. In these two video, we have discussed about all about single point cutting tool and the multi-point cutting tool. Necessity of multi-point cutting tool, types of multi-point cutting tool. In this video, we discuss about two types, drill bit and the milling cutter, various angle associated on the drill bits and the various angle associated on the milling cutter. And this is the overall differences between single point cutting tool and multi-point cutting tool. Thank you. Thank you all.